Hello beautiful people, my name is Carrie. I use tarot and oracle cards to bring you messages for your mundane and spiritual growth. Today I have a message for you to help guide you toward receiving a blessing you have been asking for. So, guiding our reading today we have Iris of the Rainbows. Iris of the Rainbows is very much about helping you to be able to see the light in a dark situation. Imagine a storm, gray, dark clouds overhead, rain coming down, and you're starting to see a little bit of light peeking through as the storm is breaking up. It's not over yet, but there's enough light that you're starting to see rainbows. First off, we have the Six of Swords. Now, I'm looking at the Six of Swords here. I'm getting this impression that you are this individual on the boat here, as opposed to, if you can see it, this little star shape over here, somebody on the other side. You are crossing to a new point in your life. You see that there is something on the other side. There's a little, glimmer of hope. You can't get quite the full picture yet. However, you know that there is something waiting for you. Perhaps a lot of things in your life are still giving you this kind of Nine of Swords feeling that you're still stuck in the nightmare, still stuck in the old situation. Maybe you're in a job that you don't like. Maybe you're in a housing situation that you don't feel respected or honored. You've been wanting to move toward this better situation in the Six of Swords here, and you don't feel like things are really moving, right? You have this tower, everything feels like it might be getting worse. You might be having anger, sudden intense visions, or inspirations or insights. Like, everything is happening so intensely, so powerfully all at once, but you're not seeing yourself getting to the other side. However, Seven of Swords. There are things happening behind the scenes that you are unaware of, right? Maybe there is an individual who has a negative kind of view toward you, kind of an attitude toward you, and perhaps they're being disarmed. Something is preventing them from being able to lash out at you. But I'm also really getting that there's things going on behind the scenes that you don't know. Okay. We come to the Magician. Now, when I'm looking at the Magician here, of course, we know that the Magician, he has all his tools, everything he needs to be able to create his reality, his manifestation, right? And we look at this infinity symbol here. This tells me that not only do you have the ability to create something, you have in fact created something. The thought form, the energetic form, it exists, right? You have created the new reality for you, for yourself. And you're kind of wondering, well, if I've created this reality for myself, why am I not seeing it? Or what way can this come in? Ten of Cups. Very fitting, since this is Iris of the Rainbows. This rainbow, this glimmer of hope, this glimmer of light that you're seeing has to do with community. Maybe you are connecting with people, people like yourself that absolutely want to drop a comment introducing yourselves. You might be connecting with people that they have something special that is going to be of benefit to you, right? And you have this great idea, this fantastic idea, the Knight of Swords here. You've got something that you're ready and willing to run with, that you're just taking off. I've got this fantastic thing, and it's true, you do have a good idea. However, you think you're the Knight of Swords, but reality is you're still the page. you are learning how to direct your thoughts. You are learning how to, bring your focus in on what it is you want to create. Bring your focus in on the reality that you want for yourself. And maybe you get this kind of feeling like you have to live up to really high standards, right? You have to be the perfect, example of whatever the success you're looking at looks like. You're starting a business, and maybe you are viewing yourself as somebody who, like, they've got all the money, you have all the clients, and while it's definitely good to have that vision in mind, you don't necessarily have to beat yourself up if you're not seeing the immediate results, right? We've got the Emperor here, right? The Emperor is very, very good when it comes to community. He listens to people, he understands their viewpoints, he really takes into consideration things that people say. But we have this expectation that if somebody is in this position of leadership, that they should be like the best of the best. If you're coming from a work situation that you don't want to be in anymore, you probably understand that just because somebody's a boss doesn't mean that they're the best boss, right? But going back into yourself, you have this expectation that you have to be perfect, you have to have everything figured out all at once, and then when you don't figure that out, you end up withdrawing into yourself, right? The hermit. You get this kind of feeling like, well, maybe I misunderstood, maybe I didn't really have the insight that I had, and you kind of withdraw back into yourself. And when we're looking at these two cards, the Emperor and the Hermit, the quintessential leader, and then the quintessential, loner. What's the balance between that? The balance comes in as the Hierophant. Okay, now the Hierophant is definitely an individual from a tradition. They've got a structure, a way of understanding things. They've got some sort of scaffolding that they've built to achieve their success, to achieve their higher knowledge and wisdom. And you've got individuals who, they are seeking his approval, they're seeking his wisdom and his knowledge. But something to remember about the Hierophant is he's human, just like the rest of us. He understands, there is a higher power, his higher power, however you understand the bigger picture, whether that being non-dualistic or whether you have a relationship to spirit guides that you consider to be more individual and tangible. Whatever the case being, he understands and he has his connection to divinity, but he still has the ability to make mistakes. He still has the ability to, not necessarily always live up to the highest standards. He tries his best and he sets an example and he guides others, but it's kind of, sometimes it comes to a do as I say, not as I do, like a doctor telling you not to smoke, but they're a smoker themselves. So when we come to this point where we're experiencing, the reality and understanding that, like, I'm an imperfect being and, all these other people around me are imperfect beings, this is where you started to understand where the community aspect comes in, right? Because there's maybe somebody whose strengths can make up for your weaknesses. You have strengths that can make up for somebody else's weaknesses. So rather than just, trying to do things all by yourself, which you might be able to achieve a certain measure of success, through learning, through trial and error. But if you have the help of others, then that's going to support you considerably more successfully than just by yourself. Maybe there's somebody who wants to bless you, has some sort of a gift to give, right? The Six of Pentacles here, this individual who has achieved some sort of prosperity, who's achieved some sort of, an ease in life, helping others. And maybe if they're helping you, we come to the judgment. Judgment card. You wanted rebirth. You wanted something amazing and wonderful for yourself. You wanted to come out of this cauldron, this difficulty you're experiencing, right, into something magnificent, into something fantastic. And you've been looking for, what is that missing ingredient? What is that thing that is going to finally tip the scale? And the thing that's going to finally tip the scale is you being willing to let somebody else help you, to let somebody else bless you, benefit you. And because they blessed you, you're not, and you're having this experience to where you're coming to some sort of a higher state or some sort of a greater success or prosperity of something. You become the Queen of Wands. I get the impression, to me this seems like the same woman here. She went through tough experiences, pressures of life. But after this rebirth, after letting others help her, and the reason I say, the Queen of Wands is letting others help hers, because being the queen as opposed to the king, she's a more feminine, receptive energy, right? You can take the energy, the input, the blessings that others are sharing with you and create magic. You absolutely create magic, right? Her little black cat here, she's got a insight into the mysteries. This is that insight you had earlier, or insights that you're developing and gaining. And when this energy is being, given to you by others, when, whatever gift or blessing is being given to you by others, it doesn't only benefit you. Six of Wands. This energy, this solar energy on his flag gives me the impression of a higher level of visibility. You see the flag above him. You can see it from a distance, right? You become more attractive. You got energy coming in, and when you cycle it, that energy continues to pull more people in, and everybody, you look at this crowd back here, everybody benefits. So you do have blessings coming in. You've been asking for this for a while. You've done the work emotionally, mentally, to prepare yourself for this, and you're looking out diligently. How am I going to succeed? How am I going to achieve this? Look for where connections are coming in your life right now. Look for who has expertise that complements your weaknesses. Look for, where your strengths can complement other people's weaknesses. Connect, and you will get to where you're going. If anything in this reading resonated with you, I would absolutely love it if you would drop a comment below. Leave a like, and if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe and head into the channel. I'm sure you'll find a video that calls out to you. Go ahead and click on that, and I'll see you in the next one.